Wipes out a South Central zoo, leaving its animals without a home. The owners are now raising money to rebuild. Digital anchor Keith Grant joining us now from the newsroom. Keith, what is the latest?
Rachel, today the owners of the Safari Zoological Park selling some animals at auction to hopefully raise some money. That fire destroying multiple buildings at the zoo near Caney. The zoo's owner, Alexis Harvey, sharing this video with us here. It shows the main building in flames Wednesday night. That building destroyed. The owners, who also live on the property, and a portion of their homes damaged as well. The Montgomery County Rural Fire District 1, they're saying they're still investigating the cause of the fire, but they have crews monitoring for hot spots. Fortunately, there were no injuries, and both people and animals are safe, while the total damage cost is still unknown. The zoo wants to raise $100,000 to hopefully rebuild.
Some new numbers.